Alrighty, so the gun in front of me is our Venom 2.0. So the Venom was one of the very first guns that Aimrite ever made. It was an aluminium entry-level gun. The designs have obviously changed over the years. So this is the latest version. It comes with packed full of features. So when you're talking to a customer who wants, this is what I would call a light setup. So it comes with a 7mm shaft and 14mm bands, aluminium barrel. So it's a very light gun. It shoots very, very smoothly. The 14mm bands and the 7mm shaft are matched perfectly. So you'll get much less recoil from shooting this setup, which is something a lot of people don't like. Some people don't like the kick and the recoil. So something like this is perfect for younger kids, women, or also men that are shooting species, probably up to around the 5 kilo mark. So what I'll do is I'll run through the gun from top to bottom, and then we'll see if there's any other questions. And then if there is questions, write them down, send them through to Cassie and I, and we'll get back to you guys as promptly as we can. So the shaft. So the shaft on these models is a 7mm spring steel South African made shaft. So these shafts are made in South Africa. That's where you get the best spring steel shafts from. You know, you're looking at brands like Spearmaster, Rob Allen, Mako, and all that sort of stuff. It comes with a tri-cut tip. Now, our tips on our shaft are actually a little bit different to some of the Rob Allens. So we actually go for a longer tri-cut. So you'll notice on here, the tri-cut is about 2 centimeters long. What I've found over the years is this actually has much better penetration compared to a shorter tri-cut tip. They're extremely sharp, so you really want to stay away from the pointy end of this. It comes with a single flopper, as you can see. These are attached with a 3mm pin, so plenty of strength in the pin. On our shafts, we run about 25 centimeters of overhang on our standard guns, and we run about 30 centimeters on our rollers. I've found over the years that these lengths for overhang are the most accurate by a long way. Coming back down the shaft, you've got 2 notches at the rear, and it is also at the rear trimmed down to 7mm or 6.5mm, depending on what model of shaft you've got. And what that means is it allows you to use 1.8mm mono and insert that back into the mechanism without hitting the sides. Speaking of the mono we use is 400-pound commercial grade 1.8mm black mono filament. So this comes out of Korea. So what you'll find is a lot of our components and a lot of our parts, we basically search the world, we find out where they're making the very best product. So spring steel shafts, South Africa. Monofilament for commercial fishing is Korea, and then everything comes into here, fitted, machined, and that's why we can put out such a great product. Going right back up to the bungee, so these pigtail swivels are about 700 pounds, so you're never going to break them. They also come out of Korea from our commercial fishing factory. Silicon bungees, so we don't use rubber in our bungees. And the reason being is rubber will perish over time. I've still got bungees that are 10 years old and they're still going strong. So we use silicon bungees so that they last, they'll pretty much almost outlast your gun. And then we use 350 kilo Dyneema as the Dyneema that connects to the muzzle of the gun, or your shooting or your reel line, depending on how you have it set up. So starting at the muzzle here, I'll talk about the rubber first. So the rubber that we use is USA latex rubber. It's made in the US from Primeline. Obviously that's where you get the best rubber made, so we don't mess around with any of the stuff that comes out of Asia. We go for the very best that we can get out of America. So this is USA latex, 14mm, as I said. It comes in blood red, which is our Aimrite color, and it is then comes into Australia. We cut it to length, grind it off on our grinder. We then make up the inserts and the bridles, and then they are put in and they're tied off using constrictor knots. So all this is done here in Australia, all at our factory. We don't want to mess around when it comes to bands. They're a critical part of the spear gun, and we want to make sure that they're 100%, and the only way we can do that is to manufacture them here in Australia. All right, so let's start with the muzzle. The muzzle that we're using in our current designs for the Venom is the Ermi sub muzzle. These are manufactured in Italy. They're a brilliant muzzle. 2 bands. They've got little band elevators on them. It's got hooks. And as you can see, it's got a pin for a connecting point, and what that does is it actually takes a lot of the weight out of the muzzle to reduce any arm fatigue when you're aiming out at fish. Very well made product. Mario from Ermi Sub does a great job, and we're happy to use his products for our Venom and our Envy Pros. Coming down to the barrel, so these barrels here, they're a 25.6 mil ID barrel. The original barrels for the Venom were 25.4. What that meant was that we didn't really have that much buoyancy, and not only that, they were about 1.6 to 2 mil thick, depending on whether you had the heavy duty barrel or the light barrel. These ones here are about 1 mil thick. So what we've done is we've taken a lot of extra weight out of the barrel. It was unnecessary. It made the guns very heavy. So we re-engineered the barrel, and this is the current barrel we use. It's got a full length track. It's plugged on the inside, so you know it'll never leak, and it finished in black anodized aluminium, and obviously finished with the Aimrite logo sticker. All right, so let's go down now. Let's go, just 2 secs. All right, so let's come back to the handle. So the handle on the Venom 2.0 is our famous Venom handle that's been around for almost 20 years. Very, very comfortable grip. It's got 2 rubberized sort of grip plates on either side. It's got our unique safety assist. Now this is our own design that Aimrite's had for a number of years. It is unique to the Aimrite brand, and it is the only silent safety that we're aware of. So that's basically the Venom handle. It's got a removable butt for those guys that want the Rob Allen style sort of setup. On the side here, it's got the line guide, and what this does is this actually keeps the mono out of the way when you're loading your bands into your notches, something that can get real annoying. So it's got this nice line management system on the side that keeps it out of the way. And then the mechanism that we're using in this is actually the 3rd version of this generation of mech. There's been a few little upgrades that we haven't really released. We've just gone ahead and upgraded. So now the screw on top's different. The line release on the side's thicker. It's got the grooves in the finger piece for a little bit of extra grip for those guys that are using like the rubbery gloves. It's got a reverse roller mechanism style setup. So it's got a roller that rolls off the back of the trigger piece. So there's no metal on metal grinding or anything like that. Super smooth mechanism. The reviews on this have been absolutely phenomenal. We're very, very happy with it. And it's the same mechanism that we use in our $400 gun right up to our $2,500 gun. So that's pretty much the Venom in a nutshell. It can be fitted with a reel. We do recommend the 50 meter reel only because it is a light reel. Anything bigger can compromise a bit of the balance and the buoyancy in the gun. So that's the Venom 2.0 overview. The gun comes with a full lifetime warranty on the mechanism, the handle, the barrel, and the muzzle. If you have any questions, please reach out and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can.